You've hit a level of success where you're doing well. Based on society, based on the people around you, things are going well. But you know you are capable of so much more. Your physique is not where you want it to be. Your energy is inconsistent. You've lost that mental edge, that get up and go that you once had. And the reason behind this is because you've got comfortable. And I see this all the time. And it's happened to me. I built my business, my physique, my life to a position I honestly never thought was possible as a kid. I bought my dream car, I had my dream girl, and I got comfortable. My standards started to slip, my physique started to slip, my habits, and that crept into every area of my life. My business started to slowly deteriorate because if you're not growing, you're dying. So if you're not on a daily basis focusing on the habits that move you forward, you're slowly going backwards. And that's what was happening to me. Before I knew it, my business took a hit, my physique took a hit, and my self-respect, my relationships, it all took a hit. And I snapped out of it very, very quickly, thankfully. And I knew that I had to rebuild myself and rebuild my standards. To what got me to where I was, I needed to double down on it. Yes, I broke free of the 9-to-5 trap. I got some freedom. I built my dream life. I was in a very good position. And I thought that what got me there didn't necessarily need to stay to keep me there. But what I slowly realized was you actually need to double down, if anything. It's more important, it's much more important to double down on what got you to where you are and to continue to grow. And what I realized, guys, was there's specific things that need to happen each and every single day. First of all, to get you to a position where success is inevitable, but to then make sure that we continue to compound growth and we don't regress. And that's essentially a 4-step system that I've been through myself, and I'm going to explain it to you, the key elements that actually need to happen. Okay, just so you can take some key points from this and implement it into your life. Because at the end of the day, I want you to succeed. I want you to make sure that you continue to compound on the success you've already had. Because guys, trust me, you can get success, and you need to make sure that you do not let that success get to your head, let you get complacent, let you get comfortable, because that can be taken away so quickly. Okay, so if there's one thing that I want you to take away from this is don't get complacent, don't get comfortable, and install these 4 steps that will make sure that you compound and you in 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years down the line are growing on a weekly, yearly, monthly basis. Okay, so what we need to happen is first, your body needs to be primed. That's the number one thing. So you need to set up a structure that can fit into your life, okay? It has to be custom built for you. You eliminate the self-sabotage, the vices that kick in when success happens. You stabilize your routine, your energy, your nervous system, and you get yourself into a position where you lay the foundation to then continue to grow on top of. Okay, so once you lay that foundation, then the key. How do we operate at the highest standard? You get your body into peak physical condition. Because what happens with this? When you are on point and when you push yourself with your physique to get to that next level and to get to a position where you're sub 10%, every other area of your life improves because you hold yourself to a high standard in one area and then that flows into every other area of your life. So you get physically and mentally into peak conditioning. You get disciplined with your tracking. You get disciplined with your daily habits. And I promise you, once you do that in one area, you know this. I'm talking to a successful guy right here. You know how you do one thing is how you do everything. Okay? Once you then get into that position, you then need to reverse diet out of there. And this is where I see most people fail. They get into peak physical condition. They're the man. They look in the mirror. They love who they see. But again, just like comfort kills, it can happen with your physique, and it does happen with your physique. So you need to then install the systems that will slowly reverse you back out and make sure that you can maintain these results for life. Okay, and the changes that you make actually become identity level changes. Because guys, we all know we can press so hard, we can get short-term results, but if we don't do the internal work, what can happen is we rebound just as quick, okay? And then you get into this final stage, which is the total control. Your mind, your body, your habits, they're all aligned to continue to grow and compound growth on a daily basis. So you're physically compounding growth, mentally compounding growth, and professionally compounding growth. All areas you're compounding. Because as I said, guys, you're either growing or you're dying. Comfort kills. I've seen it happen so many times with so many successful people, and I've lived it myself, that I'm now in a position where each and every day I have non-negotiable tasks, but I'm growing. I'm becoming a better person. The way I look at it is, if you are nearly disgusted looking at yourself 6 months ago, thinking, what the hell was that guy at? Because you've done so much work on yourself, physically, mentally, professionally, that you're doing more work in 6 months that most people do in 6 years. Okay? And that's the key. You're fulfilled. You've purpose each and every day. You feel like the man, which is key. You know, we can have money, but if we don't feel good within ourselves, if we don't feel internally aligned, confident, and literally just feel like the man, it's not worth it, I promise you. So that's the key. You go through those 4 phases and you come out the other end a man in total control. Your mind, your body, your habits, and your career. Okay? And as I said, once you're in control, you can manage every other area of your life. But when you feel chaotic, when you don't feel confident, what happens? You tell me, what happens? And as I said, guys, I see it happen so often. And I want to give you an example here. Some of the guys, okay, these are all high-level guys. And you can see, look, they're not even in the worst shape to start off with, but they're comfortable, they're soft. They're not where they need, and look at where they are next. That's when you go from being just an average guy with a little bit of success to an elite level high performer. And everything compounds. There's literally just result after result. It's like, guys, this isn't for the guy. This isn't for the guy that's sitting at home, eating fucking chips, eating potatoes, watching Netflix, trying to manifest his dream life. This is for the guy that's actually actively out there. He's putting in the work, but he knows that he's not operating at the highest standard, and he needs to become the man in total control in all areas of life. And as I said, guys, you know, the sooner you take control of this, luckily I was 3 months in once I snapped out of it, but each day that you let these bad habits compound, you're reinforcing those bad habits. You're on a slow trajectory down. Okay, as I said, just as good habits compound to build you up, those bad habits slowly drag you down. It's a slow death. So just make sure you take control sooner rather than later. I promise you, once you do, you will have that get up and go. You will be dialed in mentally, you will be dialed in physically, and you will be operating in alignment to your future self. Take control before it's too late.